When was the last time someone told you, I'm too busy to meet with you, work with you, or buy your products? I'm Amy Walker, and I help small business owners and entrepreneurs be able to grow their business while maintaining balance in their personal lives. Today, I'm showing you how to overcome the too busy sales objection so that you can get more meetings and close more deals. For all the tips that you need to grow your business and maintain balance at home, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you can be notified when new content comes out every Tuesday. The I'm too busy objection is really kind of baffling because it leaves you as the seller feeling like they want it, I know they want it, but we just have to find the right time. When in reality, that might not be the case. And they clog up your pipeline and make it so you don't have the time and energy to spend on the right types of prospects who are ready to say yes today. And having somebody who says, I'm going to, but it's not the right time, makes you feel like you have a false win, when in reality, you don't have any more money in your bank account. So we're gonna deconstruct the time objection today and give you everything that you need in order to be able to successfully overcome that sales objection every time I'm too busy pops up out of the mouth of one of your prospects. So I'm going to give you 4 strategies today that will help you in this area. The first is I'm going to tell you what's really going on behind the scenes when they say I'm too busy. Second, I'm going to give you the exact script that you can use to work through that objection. And then third, I'm going to give you 2 additional, well, this is third and fourth, 2 additional steps and strategies that you can use if they just need to be tipped over the edge into saying yes. I've used these strategies myself. I've used them with hundreds of my clients, and it has helped us all to be able to increase the number of deals that we close, and I know it's going to help you as well. So let's jump in. Is this a challenge for you? If it is, leave me a note in the comments and say, I get this all the time, or yes, I want some help in this area, just so I know that we're creating content that's really useful and helpful for all of you. So as we go through this information today, I am going to be quoting from my new sales book, the I'm Not a Salesperson sales book, because guess what? This information comes from the book. And if you like it and it's helpful for you and you want the entire book, you can get it for free. I'll tell you how at the end. So without further ado, here's tip number 1. What is happening behind the scenes when they tell you, I'm too busy? So chapter 8 in the I'm Not a Salesperson sales book is on overcoming the time objection. And there's a few different ways that this will show up. So time shows up in a few different ways. I'm too busy right now. It's not the right timing. Call me back in a few months. Can you just email me the details? I don't have time to get on a call. So they're really just kind of trying to push you off and not engage with you, which we all know if we can't engage with a prospect, it's really hard to close that deal. Deals are not often closed through text message and email. We need to be able to have a conversation. We want to get to that point, so we have to figure out how to move this out of the way. So I want to share a little bit of psychology behind this objection, because the reality is it's not time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same 7 days in a week. We all have the same 365.25 days in the year. I'm a leap year baby, and so that, quarter of a day each year adds up to one magical day for me every 4 years, so we can't leave it out. But we all have the same amount of time. So saying I don't have time isn't a reality. Okay, I'm a busy person. I have 5 kids. Especially this time of year is really busy for us. We have cross country, we have football, we have 2 different competitive marching bands, we have Cub Scouts, we have church on Wednesday nights. Like, it's busy. We have to do yard work. I mean, it's busy. We run a business. It's busy. So I get that feeling of my life is very full. But here's what I will tell you. We create and dedicate time to the things that we deem important. And you know that's true as much as I do. If somebody comes up with something that you can't miss, you make time for it. You open up space, you dedicate, you rearrange things, and you do it. So time isn't real. This idea that we don't have enough time, it's not real. We all have time. We're just choosing to spend it in different places. That's critical if we're going to understand what could be actually going on behind the scenes. All right, back to chapter 8. Here are some of the realities behind a client claiming they don't have enough time. They are lacking in support, feel overwhelmed by their current load, and are hesitant to take on anything else. Does that feel real? That feels real to me. They are disorganized, frantic, and worry they will fail. Been there. They're indecisive and think putting off the decision will somehow make it easier. Like, if I don't want to make it today, but if I come back to it in 3 months, that'll be easier to make then. Same process. Not true. They are afraid of success and failure and have been avoiding jumping all in to their dreams. Instead, they keep it on the back burner, and that lets them avoid any risk by staying in planning mode. As long as I'm planning, the possibility of success is out in front of me, but I don't actually have to experience success, and I don't actually have to experience failure because I'm planning. All right, and the last one, what you are offering them is not as high of a priority as the things they are currently doing. And that person, they're not likely to close. So why does this matter when you're overcoming the objection? Because you need to know the real story, like what's really going on. I always say that stories are expensive and you can't afford to buy them. And whenever somebody tells me an objection, I just take it as that's their story. I'm not saying they're lying. They believe their story. I'm just saying there's a difference between the story and the reality, and we have to get to the reality if we're going to be able to overcome these objections and help people be able to say yes. Also, good time to make this side note, I only want people to say yes that actually need and want what I'm offering. And that's important. So it's not about trying to get people to say yes to things they don't need or want. It's about empowering them to be able to say yes and get the things that they need or want. So let's cover the time objection from chapter 8. Here is your scripting. I will say it once, and if you want to actually be able to read it, just go grab the book. It's free. You can buy it too on Amazon, but I'm going to give it to you for free. So number 1, acknowledge their objection. So it sounds like you're interested, but you restate the time concern as they said it. So it sounds like you're interested, but you're not sure this is the right time. So it sounds like you're interested, but you feel like you're too busy. So it sounds like you're interested, but I don't know, whatever they said, just put it in. And then you're gonna say, does that sound accurate? Because then if they're not interested, it gives them permission to tell you. And if they are interested, they just claim to the fact that they're interested. And then you say, may I ask you a question? If we set timing aside for a minute, do you think this is the right program, product, or service for you? And is time an issue in general in your life? Okay, so now we're trying to identify, if we set time aside, is this right for you? And then is timing an issue in general in your life? So that way they can understand that timing doesn't actually have anything to do with this program. Timing is an issue in their whole life. And then we're going to ask permission. Do I have permission to brainstorm with you and see if we can figure out a solution to the timing challenge? Because I know you want X now, but you don't have time to do what it takes to get there. If you're open to brainstorming with me, I think we can come up with a plan. And remember, this is all about their goal and their outcome. That X isn't necessarily your product or service. So for me, I would not say, do I have permission to brainstorm with you and see if we can figure out a solution to the timing challenge? Because I know that you want to coach with me and join my mastermind program now, but you don't have the time to do what it takes to get you there. That's not actually true. They just told me they don't want to do it now, right? So what we want to do is we want to say, do I have permission to brainstorm with you and see if we can figure out a solution to the timing challenge? Because I know you want to grow your business by another 20% by the end of the year, and you don't feel like you have the time to do what it takes to get you there. If you're open to brainstorming with me, I think we can figure out a plan. Totally changes the conversation. And then we're going to inform. Here's step number 4. Oh, maybe the light of the computer gives me extra lighting. It's a little dim in my entryway today. Okay, so inform is number 4. I always love using questions to help people find their own answers, okay? But rather than telling them what I think, I use questions to help get the conversation going. So number 1, if you were to take this on now, what would be your specific concerns and what would be the benefits? They can't think of the benefits until after they've expressed what their concerns are. So get them to list the concerns first, because those are front of mind, and then talk to them about what are the benefits of doing it now, so they can start hearing that from their own voice. Number 2, if you don't take this on now, and a year from now everything is the same for you, would you be okay with that, or would that be frustrating to you? Number 3, is there anything you're currently spending time on that isn't bringing you closer to your goals? Facebook, Instagram, like all the scroll time. Of course they have that. And then last one, what type of support would you need in order to be successful with this? So those are just some prompt questions that you can use, and that's your scripting and your verbiage to be able to help you overcome this time objection. Okay, you've got the scripting. Again, you can replay this as many times as you want. You can write down each little thing, or you can download the book and go look up chapter 8, whichever one you want. So 2 more, I promised I would give you 2 more strategies. The first one is the feel, felt, found. So after you have gone through the script and they're still just not quite there, like they're on that fence and they need a little bit of a pushover, I find that feel, felt, found works really well in this case. So what I'll say is, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way too when I was launching my business. I had, a 6-week-old baby. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way too. When I was launching my business, I had a newborn, an 18-month-old, a kindergartner, a 2nd grader, and a 5th grader. And I didn't feel like I had any time either to devote to my education. But what I found was that the time I spent working on my education allowed my business to grow exponentially faster, and it made it so we could hit 6 figures in the first year. And then I had the finances to be able to start getting some help, and that is what created the time. So I understand what it feels like to be busy and strapped for time. What I found was investing in my education was the best thing for helping me to be able to get more time. So feel, felt, found. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way too, but what I found was, and now you're sharing your personal relatable story. Now, don't make one up. Like if someone legitimately tells you something and you're like, I have no idea what that's like. No experience. You know somebody else's story who is similar to theirs. And if you don't, talk to more people, because you can use someone else's story, another client, another distributor, another salesperson. You can use someone else's story. I know how you feel. I had a friend who felt the same way when she was starting because blah, 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 blah. But what she found was, and you can go through that same process of feel, felt, found. It works really well with the time objection. The last tip for you is the green lighters. So the green lighters want all of the lights to be green before they start their journey. They want to know that they will have no obstacles, there will be no challenges, and everything will run smooth, and they'll be able to give it 100%. And until they can achieve that, they feel like the timing is not right. So you and I both know that's never going to happen. Like if I waited for the lights to be green before I left home, I'd never get anywhere. And I live in a small town with 2 or 3 stoplights. So they're never all green at the same time. And so what we want to do with them is we want to help them put it in a context where they can understand what they're doing. And so I actually just ask this question. I'll say, you know what, can I ask you a question? It seems to me like you're wanting all of the pieces to line up before you get started. But if you were to leave your house today and try to go to the store, and if you were to wait until all the lights were green before you made that trip, would you ever get there? And they'll say, well, no. And then I ask, so, if you wait for all of the pieces to line up perfectly, are you ever going to get started working towards this goal? And they'll realize well, no, it doesn't work that way. And so then I give them some reassurance, and I'll just say something like, I am excited to work with you. I'm excited to be able to give you the support that you need to be successful. And here's what I know. I know that today is the right time because you want it today, and because I can help you get there today. So let's just start today. Something along those lines. That part, maybe I script out a little bit differently with each person depending on our vibe in our relationship, something along those lines. I want to leave them with some reassurance that it's going to be okay. So I've been telling you a little bit about the I'm Not a Salesperson sales book, Sell Like a Natural Even If You're Not. It is a quick and easy read. It's under 100 pages and it is full of strategies, scripts, and processes that you can use to improve your skill set, your mindset, and your sales activity. So if you want it, go grab it today. The link is in the description and you can go to www.salesaremything.com. Also, if you want to join a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, I would love to have you in my private group on Facebook. It's called the CEO Spot. Again, the link is in the description, but you can join, get some behind the scenes on the go videos. I answer your questions and we can have conversations that, maybe need to be a little bit more back and forth. So come on over and join us. We'd love to have you there. If this video was helpful and you'd like to see more content like this, please let me know. Like the video, share it with your friends, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I love your comments. I actually answer every single comment that I get and would be happy to get to know you better and learn more about your business. So leave me a comment, and thanks for watching.